Hey guys, welcome to the 8th episode of the Men's Conference. I'm your host, DC, the legend of awesomeness. Make sure to subscribe to our YouTube channel. That is Men's Conference. Make sure to like our page as well on Facebook and follow us on TikTok. Remember, this episode is actually brought to you by bongobongo. Make sure to actually click the link in the description below. That is Men's Conference. So as usual, I'm joined by Laz and that ranting guy. And for the first time, we have ladies in the building, and many people have actually been requesting and bothering us and calling us to say, when are you going to have women on the show? You're always bothering us. Wow. So yeah, we decided to sit down and listen.
They've been actually forcing this to happen.
Yeah.
We finally did it.
Yeah.
We're doing what.
Wait, so you guys didn't want to do it? You were
That's
forced.
not what we're saying. We
did.
had a timeline.
Yeah.
We had a timeline on when we were
What
going
was
to
the
do it.
timeline?
We cannot share everything here. Okay, we've got a blueprint. Okay, look, you're making me look bad. We have a blueprint on when we were going to bring the ladies here. It was going to be nice. It was going to be perfect. Fireworks in the skies and wine everywhere.
So dramatic.
Because it was requested by
Yeah.
the fans.
You are admitting that you only have us here because you were.
No.
That's
what he's
Get into it. Get into it.
Because we want
She's
women
putting
on the
words.
show.
She's putting words in my mouth.
Exactly.
I love you guys being here.
Oh my God.
It makes it different and fun. You know?
Okay.
Too much guys in the building is a bit,
Yeah,
we
It's
tend to
not a
come
good
wrong.
thing.
It's not,
They think like
it can
we are
be
playing
chaos.
sword fights or something.
Exactly.
So wrong,
But anyway, the fans would love to know who is you.
Okay, so hi guys. My name is Yuma Mujala. I am a psychologist. Okay, fun fact. So I work at a rehab center, Great North Road Rehab Center, that's in Rhodes Park. I don't know if you guys have heard of Dr. Rosia Twambo.
Yes, I've heard of him.
Yeah, so all the group of companies, Tolumba Resort, Tolumba Lodges,
Yeah.
Great North Road Academy, the special education school, the rehab center, and then all the schools as well.
Wow.
Like Great North Road Academy main campus, Livingston campus, Avondale campus. So all of that is under him. And like I'll just say,
conglomerate, eh?
it's really nice working with him.
Wow.
Yeah,
Amazing.
and the co-director. So that's me, guys.
Oh,
yeah,
that's amazing.
I'm an advocate for mental health.
Nice.
Thank you.
Men or women?
Both.
In both?
Yeah,
That's
men,
fantastic.
women, kids, corporate places, everything.
Amazing.
The people we need.
Next.
Thank you. How dare you?
We are all looking at you. Yeah.
Okay. So hi guys, my name is Karen Nawa, and I'm a journalist by profession. I'm also a model. I work for a group of media companies, namely Millennium TV, Millennium Radio, and the Daily Nation newspaper. So, yeah, I guess my job is just to keep people informed, and I try as much as possible to do just about that. Aside that, also a mental health advocate, though I sort of like on the other category, men's mental health advocate. So, yeah.
Interesting.
He's so excited.
I know.
It's nice to see a woman on our side for once, don't you think? I mean,
Women are always on your side,
Exactly.
guys. Just like guys are so defensive.
Wow, I'd love
wow.
I'd love to, exactly.
Shots fired,
I'd
my
love
guy.
to argue on that. Like,
Me too.
We can argue about it.
Okay, not now. Though.
Oh, okay. I was ready. I was ready.
Next.
Hi everyone. My name is that ranting guy, public enemy number 1, hopefully.
The villain of the show.
The villain of the story. And I am here just to... do I have to say what I do? I think people already know what I do.
No, you're public enemy number 1. So
Yeah, that's
everybody
basically
knows.
it. I am the best at what I do, and what I do is not very nice. That's me. And everything else, I shall keep it in the dark, because right now I have just said too much. You might kill me.
Mr. Man.
Okay, name's Laz, and as usual, I'm like really great, excited to be here. But I'm super excited because we have 2 beautiful young ladies
thank
here on the
you.
show today. I've been constantly just filled with excitement all day, man. Like I can't wait for the cameras to
That's
start
so
rolling.
nice. That's
And
so
like already
sweet.
rolling.
You're
Welcome, you're welcome.
You're the
welcome.
first one to say that.
Now you see what you've done.
I haven't done anything, man.
She said,
Why didn't you do it?
Wow.
Why didn't you say it as well, Dave?
thou shalt not sin.
Yes, thou shalt not sin. But anyway, guys, how's been your week? How's been your day? What have you been up to?
Should I go first? Do you want to go first? It's been really chilled. My week has been okay. Thanks for asking. So it's basically just been like work home for me. And then we had like ZNS visit the rehab center as well. So that was exciting.
Oh, amazing.
Yeah. But it's just basically been work.
Yeah. Okay. Karen?
I've been busy as usual. There's quite a lot going on, to be honest, in all sectors in the country.
Yeah.
And so trying to keep your ears on the ground, like almost like everywhere, is kind of a lot. But, trying to put it all in one thing so you can let people know, like, okay, guys, so this is what's going on, this is what's happening here, this is what's happening there, and stuff. So it's quite of a lot, but manageable.
Okay.
I would say, yeah. So I'm good, but I've been busy.
Okay.
Yeah.
So, ranting guy, besides causing a menace in Lusaka, what else were you up to?
I was binging my series.
Amazing.
I didn't have much to do this week. I am not going to lie.
Yeah. What series were you binging?
I was rewatching Money Heist.
I thought you were going to say Game of Thrones, man.
I'll get to that.
Such
But
a
right now I'm money oriented, money
Yeah.
focused. Hopefully that I have the ingenuity and the smarts to embezzle cash. But that's what I was focused on.
Let Dick hear that. And they'll come
No,
for
they
you.
can come for me. I have nothing to hide except my coins in my piggy bank.
Okay.
Yeah.
Laz.
I won't say much, but just finding ways to improve, man. Be
Yeah.
better version of myself than I was yesterday.
Wow.
So otherwise, most of my hobbies, activities, I like to let them like remain secret. I don't like
Yeah.
my information being out there. So
That's what Batman always says.
His
The
hobbies
good
are
guy.
too dark to share.
The good guy of the city, the hero, I should say. But no, that is awesome. That is fantastic. This show is all about improving men and how to actually take care of a family and how to be a good man at the end of the day. Because most women always say, Zambian men cheat. Look, we Zambian men do not cheat. If you cheat, you're not a Zambian man.
That's true.
Then what are you?
Probably from Botswana or something.
But I know Zambian men that cheat.
Then he's not Zambian.
We revoked his citizenship. I'm sorry.
Exactly. Yes. Yeah.
He is not Zambian.
It's not.
Okay.
That's what we advocate for.
Interesting.
Zambian men are not cheating.
You're coming out very strong. I like it.
No. That's what the men's conference is all about.
Yeah.
Yeah. But so the topic of today is how to attract a woman or how to be attractive in a woman's eyes. So, a lot of guys have actually been coming to me and saying, my woman, I'm trying to, there's this crush, I've been trying to get her attention, but I don't know how do I do that? So, would love to hear some answers on the woman's
perspective.
from a woman's
Yeah,
perspective,
we
besides
would like
us
to know.
men, because most women actually love to refuse to say, no, I'm not attracted to that. Like, okay. So
Not
love
attracted to a bicep.
yeah, not
say.
attracted to smart, not attracted to a lot of things. So would love to hear from a lady.
What do you guys think, first of all? Like, in your opinion, what do you think you could do to like get a woman's attention?
Laz. Start first.
I want this one.
All right, no problem. Okay, with my experience, I believe the first thing that attracts
Yeah.
a woman is confidence.
Okay.
The man having the confidence and self-belief to walk up to a woman and talk to her. That in of itself, I believe deep down in my heart that is very attractive to women.
Okay.
And I don't care what you guys say.
Okay.
Yeah. That's
Interesting.
the first thing I'll say. There
Okay.
are many, but confidence is the key factor. Yeah, that's what I'll say.
So for me, I would say passion. If as a man, you need to have passion when it comes to life. You cannot sit idly by, just say, I'll just go with life and whatnot. Even
Yeah.
women would end relationships because a man doesn't have what is driving him to leave. So as a man, you need to have passion in what you're about to do or what you're going to do, whether it's achieving a certain goal, whether it's a relationship, there's just so many things. But you need to have a passion in what you're going to do, building a business and stuff like that. So if you sit down with a lady to say, look, this is my future. I don't want to stay in this position for the longest time. I want to do so and so. You need to improve each year goes by. I've seen this happen where as a man, you're dating this lady and you're still stagnant for like the rest of the years. And in her head, she's thinking, this nigga is boring.
He has nothing going on for himself.
He has nothing going on. Like, what the hell
what's
is
his
going
problem?
on?
Yeah.
So if you sit down to say, look, babe, this is what I'm doing. This is what I want to do. I've got a future for us. In the next 5 years, I want to achieve this goal. You know, there she's going to be, you know, you might not have money in that first or 2 years, but
Very
knowing
true.
that you've got a vision and a passion for the both of you. Let me give you an example of a movie
That's true.
that I watched, The Family That Prays. I don't know if you guys have actually watched it.
I haven't.
You haven't? Okay. But I'm not going to get deep into it. So this man was actually trying to pursue his passion into construction. But apparently, because they're working for a construction company, so they wanted to open their own construction company. So the wife was actually not really into the idea because, you know, she was
sleeping with her boss. Come on, man.
She was sleeping with the boss.
To maneuver here.
But his friend, you know, had a wife who was definitely understanding. So whenever he tried to give up, the wife would actually push him to say, no, look, you've got a passion into opening this construction business.
Yeah.
So just pursue it. I believe in you. So if as a man you have a passion in a certain field or in other fields, believe you me, you have a woman that will stick by your side for the longest time, as long as you keep your word. So I believe that is one thing you can, you know, do to attract a woman.
Okay, so
That's a good
I think
answer.
that actually just goes with authenticity altogether, because as you're trying to be attractive to somebody or trying to remain attractive, because, you know, attraction just doesn't end at the first point, simply because you're trying to get a girl and then it works in the first part. Like, you know, okay, you've gotten her that, what next? You know, so you have to keep your game going. So if it's the authenticity part is where now, in the very beginning, let this person know what you are all about.
Yeah.
Share your dreams, share your interests. And so even as they decide to want to be or remain with you, they'll be like, okay, so if I'm doing this, I'm all in, and it's because of this.
Yeah.
Because
Yeah.
he told me.
Yeah.
And not because I'm just there waiting on. It's like, okay, what is this guy doing? Like, what's the next stage? You know, I'm waiting for you to, like, maybe let me in on it, but you're just the type of guy who's just like, okay, no, I just go with the flow. What is the flow? That's what I want to know. So I also know how to
Yeah.
conduct myself. I also want to know if I can maybe go with the same flow, you know? So authenticity is a word, I would say.
Amazing.
Interesting.
Yeah.
Interesting.
Yuma.
But Kalume now for authenticity is
has
key.
Laz answered yet?
Laz, he loves to stay mysterious.
All right, but I'll answer. Simple.
I'll answer last, yeah.
Simple. You have to be an alpha, because the thing is with women, they don't like simps or beta males. So the thing about alphas, the most important traits they possess is that they're able to call her out when she's wrong, right? Because the thing is about simps is that every time they're agreeing with her, because like her attraction goes down.
Sucking up to her, my guy.
Sucking up to her, I know that. So I feel like with always agreeing with her, she'll find that boring and say, this guy, he's always agreeing with everything I say. Because there's a reason why women love watching romance movies, novels, and drama. It's because of the controversy, because it keeps them entertained. So now if you're a type of guy who's always saying yes, 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 in her head, she's going to be like, wow,
I control
guy's
this
a
man.
simp.
Yeah, like he's just saying yes to everything.
Exactly. Always saying yes to everything. So I feel like you have to be an alpha. And it's almost related to confidence, as you said. You have to be willing to stand up for yourself and say, okay, she's wrong here. Let me correct her. And that way, it should be like, okay, now this is an
My
alpha.
future.
This is a guy I can follow. This
Yeah.
is a guy I can follow. Yeah. So that's what I have to say.
So
Okay.
have we answered your questions by Yuma?
You have.
Okay.
You have. And I feel like all my answers actually like married in everything that you guys have said.
Yeah.
Definitely for me, I'll also say number one is probably confidence. Like a man who's just confident in himself and like in what he does as well. Like, have you ever met a man or someone who's just, how can I explain it? What's your skill? What's your craft? Give me something. Oh, public speaking
Yeah.
or engineering or math or something. And then he's explaining it to you and
Yeah.
he's confident in that field.
Yeah.
So not just confident in himself, but also in certain things that he does, in his vision. Like you mentioned, in his plan. Of course, he has to back it up with actions. But confidence for me definitely is like number one. And then a man that's intentional. I have to know your plan. I don't want to go with the flow. And if there is a flow, exactly
Let me
like
know
Karen
about
said,
it.
like, let me know.
Yeah.
Because women like information. So obviously a man that's also like open-minded and very open with certain things, like, let me know what's up. If I'm texting you and you're busy, let me know that you're busy.
Yeah.
That's okay. Like you're communicating to me. You get what I mean?
Yeah.
So communication is very attractive. This is for me.
Yeah.
Personally, confidence, communication, being intentional, of course, having a vision and all of that, like I've mentioned. So yeah, it's just like, it's a lot of things, but that's just like the tip of the iceberg, right?
But how does a man actually get to that point? How should a man get to that point of confidence or, you know?
Obviously, you have to be aware of yourself. Like if you don't know certain things about yourself, then how are you going to work on them? So either you get correction and rebuke from people, your friends or your family, or you kind of like, maybe you seek professional help. But I don't want to get into work. You can see me as a friend and be like, what do I need to work on?
Yeah.
Do you know what I mean? Like, do I have to work on my dress code? Do I have to work on my approach when speaking to ladies? Do I have to work on how I, like all those little, does it make sense?
No, it does. Completely.
Yeah, so
It
you have
does.
to be aware
Yeah.
of yourself first. And then awareness is now going to lead you to like working on certain things.
Yeah. Oh, no, that's amazing. I love that answer.
You guys are so quiet.
No, we are
because we're
paying
listening.
attention.
Okay.
We
Yeah.
have to listen.
So awareness for me.
Awareness. Okay. That's definitely a good answer. Because most men don't actually know where to start from.
Yeah.
They tend to sit down and think, whatever I'm doing now is what's actually keeping her. That's the mistake that men make. They do not improve. They do not improve when they more there with a woman. Years go by, they're still the same. They're still living in the same house. Because this is my personal opinion. Me, I love it when people actually tend to, improve with their lives, whether it's house, whether it's job, whether it's car, whether it's business, whether it's money.
Yeah.
Us guys are very, very competitive in life, and that's one thing that men do not have: competition. You need to be very competitive in life. You need to say, okay, I do not want to stay in this position next year. I want to improve. I want to move forward. So what is it that I have to do? Because the more you do that, is the more you're going to attract women. And when you attract women, believe you me, you would do anything in life. We had a conversation in the background to say, okay, if a man has more women, does that mean that he's broke or he's financially stable? He's financially stable, because if he's able to attract a lot of women, meaning he's got money.
Sustain all of them. It's not easy.
Okay.
I want to actually differ on that particular point.
I did as well. Thank
Because when it comes to attraction, people, it varies from person to person to person. So what might attract maybe you to her wouldn't be the same for me. So it could be maybe with her, maybe she likes how confident you might be or how you are appearing to her.
I like the mindset of a person.
Okay.
Yeah.
So it could be maybe how maybe you address me, like, okay, so he's dressed like really smart. He looks really clean and I love that. Like, he smells really good and all of that.
That's
but then
true.
maybe I would, on my side, I'd be like, oh, I love how he thinks. I love how he conversates. I love how he's able to articulate different things.
Exactly.
On just different topics. Like you can be able to hold any conversation down.
Yeah.
If we're talking about, let me say, it's business or it's work, or it's just even on a personal level, you're talking about yourself, you're talking about your family, you just, putting it all out there, and it's so clear whereby I don't even have to ask you like countless questions just to be able to understand something. To me, they'll be like, okay, you know what? I love men that are intelligent. Like that is an attraction for me. It doesn't matter how this person is on the outside. Like, it doesn't matter if you're tall, you're short, you're dark, you're light, but just that in itself is like, okay, I love that. But somebody else will be like, okay, yeah, I just love how I love him because maybe he's tall. I love that about men. I love men who dress nice. I love men who smell good. I love men who have money. Maybe money for them is an attraction, but it's different. It varies from people to people. So it's a whole different thing.
Do you think that women have unrealistic standards when it comes to men?
Yeah, we do.
What?
I think I agree.
What are
as
some
well.
of them? I would like to know. We would like to know as men, because I'm sorry, ever since Disney started making those stupid fairy tale movies, women went crazy. Okay, they've
Here we
been
go.
expecting anything. Rapunzel, please let down your weave. It's insane. But I would like to know some of the unrealistic expectations girls have. Because sometimes you be confusing the niggas out there. I'm telling you. Because you have this long list of things that you want from a man, and she'll tell you, oh, there is plus more. There wasn't just enough paper.
But don't
more.
we ask for things that we can provide as well?
Yeah, but here's the thing. I can come and answer that question for you, but I would like to know, what are the unrealistic expectations that
Okay.
women have.
Okay, maybe let me go first.
Yeah, yeah.
Let
Yeah.
me try and go first. From what I know or from what I've seen, what I understand. So when asked to like maybe describe, say like what's your dream guy, or like what attracts you in a man or in a person, so they'll come with all these things that don't even exist. Because maybe I've seen some guy on TikTok, I've seen some guy on TV, maybe on a telenovela or something like that. I'll be like, you know what, I want exactly that. But then also I'm trying to looking at my environment, like, is that even possible? Can I meet that kind of person? So that some sort of the expectations that, they would want in a man to be like, okay, so I want a man who's tall. I want him to be, independent. I want him to have a good and secure job, or at least a business whereby, he's making like really good money for himself and he'll be able to like, maintain me. And also, he should be able to maybe take me on trips here and there. He should be able to surprise me with gifts, maybe, every once in a while. He should be able to, we should be going on dates, things like that. He should just be able to carry himself well. He should dress nice all the time, and he should be understanding. Maybe he should be driving, and such kind of stuff. But then where it gets to be, and I'm not saying it's a bad thing to want those things. I mean, at the end of the day, every single person needs to put together what they want, either in themselves or in people around them. So in as much as you're putting down that list, you have to also put down what is possible.
Not even a Porsche 9. There's a Porsche roaming on Facebook.
What
I've
is
been seeing,
possible
right?
and what can happen? Because what I believe also maybe that's what's killing relationships nowadays. Most people nowadays would ask the question to say, why aren't relationships like, lasting as they used to, back in the day? It's because back in the day, our parents or grandparents were so realistic with what they wanted or, what they had. Actually, most of them didn't even have a choice. They just arranged things for them. And they were able to live with what they had. I'm not saying that should be the case today, but also what I'm saying is that in as much as you might want, the stability, the good life, the soft life and everything, be able to want something that can be provided, something that, can be there, can be found, in that same person. So a good person can come, maybe a good man can come and approach me, right? Let's say maybe he's got a stable job and maybe he might be independent, but because I want him to be tall, I want him to look a certain way, maybe muscular, I want him to be going to the gym, I want him to be taking me on holidays and stuff. Maybe he can, but maybe it could be what he does. Maybe his job does not allow him to. Why? He's too busy. So at the same time, I want him to have the money. And for him to have that money, he needs to work. But then at the same time, I want him to be going on dates nights with me, like, every maybe 2 times in a week, or maybe 2-3 times in a month, so where does he get the time? And if he doesn't do that, and simply because my friend's mind is doing that for her, I'll be like, you know what, maybe he's not for me, maybe he's not real, even if he has the intentions. I was going to
talk about that actually.
I'm so sorry.
No. I was just going to say, like, I feel like women are, I hope this doesn't sound bad.
No,
I feel like women are groupies, like when it comes to making certain decisions. So even when it comes to like having an ideal man in your mind, right?
Yeah.
It's because we've sat down as like 3-4 women and exactly what you've said, guys, we need a guy that's tall, that's working, and then we're all agreeing. So as soon as your man is doing that, when this person approaches me, is not doing certain things that we've discussed in a group, it's not working out.
No, he's not for
It's not cutting. No. So for me, that's what I feel.
But just put the mic closer to you.
Yeah.
Can you hear now?
Yeah,
Sorry.
No,
So
it's
yeah,
fine. It's cool.
yeah, I just feel like women are groupies. So it takes a lot. And you mentioned it actually. You said it takes someone to come out and be an individual and know what you want for yourself. But women just sometimes can't do that. And it's not a bad thing. Like, it's good to get advice from someone. Even I get advice from my friends, right?
Yeah.
But like, I have to go back home and then decipher, like, so from what we discussed at our ladies' lunch, like, what works for me? Because what's working for Karen might not work for me.
Yeah.
You get what I mean?
Yeah.
But then, yeah, it still goes back to like the whole groupie thing, because I'll still compare at the end of the day. So like, all my other 4 friends have a guy that's tall, that's working, he drives a Benz, and then my man comes and then he's the opposite of that, then automatically I'm gonna feel like,
It's not happening.
yeah, maybe this is not like the right person for me, and yet he could have been. Do you know what I mean? So yeah, like, I feel like women should just keep it in mind that you have to make decisions as an individual sometimes and kind of like choose what works for you. Yeah.
Because what causes men to actually spiral out or lose control or commit suicide? is because they put in high hopes for that relationship. Especially, this is actually men who are starting out in life. You know, men who are between 25 to 30, right? Or between 20 to 30. They invest so much in a woman, thinking, oh, she's going to be by my side by the time I have money.
Yeah,
we'll definitely get married, build a house, have kids, etc., etc. So when the tables turn around on him, he cannot comprehend what just happened. Because what most women are afraid to do is say what's on their mind. I don't know why women are afraid. Why is it that most women actually are afraid of saying what's on their mind? You know, they're afraid to tell him, look, bro, you're broke. I think you should level up in life.
Umankala nyumba the whole time.
Do you do that?
Yeah.
Exactly.
No, I don't.
Oh, really?
I don't. I'm one person that actually talks a bit too much. Sometimes I'd even go to my man. I'm like, you know, if I'm too much, let me know. If I'm talking too much, let me
me
know.
too.
So
I think I do that
I
as well.
tone out a bit, yeah. Because like I said earlier, I always want to know, you know, what's going on. If it's not, you know, with us or just with you, because at the end of the day, I like it, I don't, it's also going to affect me somehow. You know, so let's say my man is here and maybe he's going through something. It could be maybe work related. It could be his family. It could just be maybe him. You know, he's talking about personal development, you know, personal growth. And so he's maybe thinking of how to improve himself, you know, maybe for me or just even just for him as a person, as a human being. And so he doesn't really know how to go on about it. And, you know, in the end, you start thinking too much. And then in the end, you're not really noticing it, but you're slowly falling into depression. And that's how it starts.
Yeah.
You know, so you're afraid of talking to people. We're like, maybe if I talk to her about this, she won't really want to listen to that.
Yeah.
Exactly. And like, you know, like some people would say, like, you know, women aren't really attracted to men that talk too much. That's not really on everybody. That's why I always say, please don't always assume stuff. And when you're talking about something or someone or a certain subject, don't put everybody in that circle.
Yeah.
Say if maybe your woman doesn't like that, say my woman doesn't like me talking too much, not everybody. Because at the end, I love my man talking because I want to know. So I also know how I can help you because at the end of the day, we are a team and we're supposed to be like that.
That's
so
true.
If the moment you drift away thinking, say like, no, maybe if I tell her this, she's going to look at me in a certain way. You know, maybe she might not understand. Maybe she might even leave me.
No, please continue. I'll come in. Please continue.
Okay. Yeah. So what I want is for you to talk to me so I can be able to know what to do. So I also know how to carry myself because it could be maybe he's getting all these thoughts to say. Maybe it's how I dress. Maybe it's how I carry myself out in society. Be like, okay, maybe she dresses expensive and I can't match that. But it's not because I'm dressing expensive. It's because maybe I'm just matching my clothes a certain way and it's making me look a certain way, which really isn't, you know? So you're thinking that to be like, okay, no, this, and you're slowly depressing yourself over something that shouldn't be. But if you talk to me or to us like, oh, you know what I'm actually wearing? I got this pasalaula. It does this much, I just put it together. It looks nice like this because I put it nicely. So you talk to me, let me understand. And then maybe I might also even provide solutions to whatever it is that, you know, you're going through, or maybe you're thinking can't be because you're thinking I'm going to judge you because you're talking to me. Why? Because society says like, no, men shouldn't do this, and it's not right.
Okay, let me just get in on that one. Okay, let's just not blame everything on society here. Society said this, so we all went that way. Here is the situation. One thing that I have come to notice. Okay?
Yeah. What's that?
As men, we also observe. Okay, we observe. In as much as you say, you know, I like a man that's talking to me, that's communicating, that will let me know what's going on. We've come to notice that immediately you give the lady the blueprint of your plan. She starts analyzing you. She starts gauging you. She starts weighing you. Maybe there's that guy she's been texting 2 months ago, seems to have told her a blueprint of his own, and now she starts to weigh, is Karas's blueprint better than Laz's blueprint? She starts to weigh. And she says, okay, I think Kudi Laz koneka future. You dig? The reason why men hold back, it's not because they don't want to tell you. Believe me. Look, if I'm going to date you, I know most of the time we're going to be together. When we're not working, we are home, we're together. You're the first person I would want to share what is going on in my mind. But the reason I go to tell DC, who's very far, but because he's my close friend, is simply because he's not going to judge what I'll think. He's not going to weigh me with another friend to see if, oh, look, there's that other guy who's got better ideas than you. Let's face it, ladies. When a man tells you everything, you start kind of it's the same thing we tell guys, like, do not open up to your woman.
Law of attraction.
But wait, wouldn't you rather have a woman do that and then let her decide, like, does she want to be with you and that blueprint, or does she not want to be with you?
Yeah, but here's the situation, okay? Most of the times, I'm sorry, in today's time, 2023, women are impatient. I could have a big plan here. The way I've put it up in my mind, this plan will blow up in 5 years. You'll be like, why? I want my iPhone 15
Women are only impatient if we're not seeing you do what you're supposed to do.
That's what I'm talking about. If you're going to talk about somebody, or maybe a personal experience you've had with someone, talk about them. Don't say women in one space.
I get that.
Because what I might do and what she does and what that somebody you're getting that example from are totally different.
Okay, you know? That's a very fair point, because I do generalize, yes, for sure. But let's face it here.
Which isn't fair.
No, yeah.
Which isn't fair.
It isn't fair.
It's like, for example, I would come here and say, all men are cheaters. When you've never cheated on anyone.
Me, I'm an impala. So here is
guys, I have a comment on that. I feel like women are only impatient if you've talked about your plans or your blueprint. And then you're not like working towards it. Exactly.
Yes,
that's when she'll be like, so I've just been talking about this thing for like 3 years, but I'm not seeing him doing anything like, do you know what I mean?
So it all comes back to like, effective communication. Like, tell me, not just telling me about yourself and, what you want and what. Let me know, so like, okay, so this is what I'm working on. And if you already have something going on for you, so let me know, so like, okay, maybe in the next year, this is what I'm planning on doing. So if by that next year, what you had put across is not happening, so we start looking at evaluating
what's the plan B? Yeah, exactly.
What went wrong? So we see how to re-strategize and see how you can build that. But then if you're only going to communicate, generally to say like, no, I'm the type of guy who does this, I do that, and I want this, I want that, I want to build on this, I want to have that kind of business, and then you end there. Let me know when you want to do that. So like, at the end of the day, when I said I could provide solutions is when, let's say, for example, if you told me, like, for example, I've already said you want to maybe have a business next year. And if it's not happening, I'm going to come and ask you, okay, so we've arrived at that time. Put your plans at. Why aren't they happening? So we start looking around what went wrong. Why didn't you have that?
Okay, let me explain. Okay, this sounds very good in theory. Okay, it's easy
put it in practice.
Yeah, that's the thing. It's easy to just say, look, I want effective communication. I want my man to do this. I want to see him act on it. I want to see if he failed to find out what the reason is. Let me explain here. I'm a man. I'm a guy. There are 3 guys here, plus the guys in the back.
Right.
We all know as dudes that when you're working and striving towards something, there's that point where we say, what do we call it? The plateau as guys, where you're working on something, but there are just no results happening. And it looks like there is nothing you're doing. The guys that some girls would say is useless, is a nobody. He's actually calculating. He's actually doing something. But it just takes a while for it to show fruits. But here's the thing. Like I was saying, in today's time, you may be you may be a 1 in a million, okay? But I have seen ladies out here being patient, like you said, especially because girls get to be unrealistic.
Yeah.
She says, my man is working hard, but things aren't just panning out. But my friend Karen, the boyfriend last week just bought a Porsche. Do you see that? Women always, one thing I've noticed, sorry ladies to say this, but women always weigh options. Let's face it, you have 4 or 5 guys hitting you up. You tend to weigh who's one who you are feeling very much.
Exactly. Definitely.
That's just in women, though. I think men also do that.
Yeah, men also do that. But you see, as guys, we may be selective at times, but we are usually practical. Sometimes we'll be like, okay, this in the short run will be so much fun. But would it be good enough in 10 years?
No.
So we may actually refuse what is good for us today. So because we are worried about what it may be next week. So we would choose which doesn't look very attractive today, because we know in 5 years' time, this thing is crazy. Because we act like an investment. I put in 5 kwacha today, but I know this 5 kwacha in the next 5 years, it's going to be 5,000. You understand? But ladies, one thing I've noticed, like it goes back to what they say, never keep a lady waiting. Even just on a dinner date, you can see. I have gone to dates before. And on purpose, I was late. The girl sits there, and I'm just at a distance, just looking at her. And I'm like, oh, I'm sorry, I'm running late. But I'm just seeing her, just to taste her patience, okay? Here is the thing. In today's time, in a fast-paced world, where anything that is you're not interested in, all you have to do is scroll up. If something is boring, boring. It is so hard to hold down a girl that can wait to say, look, baby, I'm working on something. It looks like there's nothing happening right now. I know your friends are having a blast in their relationships. We're going to have our turn too. We're also going to jump on that carousel and have some fun. Just give
but
me a
that's the
moment.
thing. Men don't even communicate those things. It takes us. It takes us to come to you and be like, babe, what's the plan? Why should it be like
You're
that?
having problems because you're not communicating. It's
Exactly. Open communication. Open communication. It still goes back to that.
Let me explain my point. So the effective communication I was talking about is where you. There's an example you gave, actually, I was going to refer to. I've just forgotten, but okay. About communication, if we'll still come back to the plans that you have in future. Maybe I might not see them, so you choose to go and talk to your friend because he might understand. Why? Because he's a man.
Yeah.
You're thinking, I'm not going to understand because maybe I'm just a woman, and then maybe I may be impatient because, you're not doing it at there and then and stuff.
Yeah.
Why am I being impatient suddenly? Because you haven't told me. It's like, for example, you're telling me to say like, okay, maybe you're owing me money, or maybe you promised to give me money, right? So, and then you say like, okay, no, babe, I'm going to give you something by Friday, right? Friday comes, I'm waiting, day apita, you're not giving me like something. Instead of you explaining to me, say like, you are actually waiting on somebody who is owing you something, who's supposed to give you the money that you were supposed to give me. You keep quiet. What am I supposed to think?
I'd like to contribute on that. You see,
me too.
If you say that you'd love a man to actually communicate and whatnot, if he starts doing that, you know what you're going to think? Excuses. This man comes up with excuses.
No.
So many excuses. And this is the reason why. This is the reason why men don't want to say anything, because you'd rather make it happen.
Others are doing, you're talking.
Can we use the same example that you used of the restaurant? Can we use that same example?
Yeah, sure.
There's a difference, okay? You guys give me your opinion on this. Let's say we're waiting, right? You guys are coming to get us, or you're coming to meet us for the date. There's a difference with me waiting and being impatient and you not communicating at all. And there's a difference with me waiting, being impatient, and at least you've said, oh, I'm on the way. I'm 10 minutes away. I'm by the corner. I'm late, but it's the same thing. Like, we'll understand. We may seem a bit impatient, but communicate where you're at in the stage of life.
And also,
so like
maybe
there's a difference.
Sorry, not to cut you short or anything, but maybe where one would be impatient. So let's still use the example of the restaurant. That's what I was actually looking for. So I'm sitting there and you are watching me. So be like, oh yeah, she's being impatient. Of course I'm going to be impatient. Let's say, for example, we agreed to meet at 8, right? That's 8 p.m. So we go out to dinner and I'm there first. So you're not telling me where you are or how, far behind time you're running. So maybe I might have made other plans.
So just
maybe,
a bit closer to the mic.
Okay, so I might have made other plans. And so maybe in our meeting or our dinner, we maybe had planned to say we're going to meet maybe for like an hour. So I might have made other plans with maybe my girls or maybe just other plans of my own after that time. So I'll be like, okay, maybe I have something scheduled at 9. And because you are deliberately keeping me waiting, trying to test me whether or not I'm patient, that's being rude. Now you're wasting my time because I had other things to do. So if you are running late, let me know. Like, okay, so I'm just 10 minutes behind and this is what's holding me up. I'll be able to know, like, okay, so if I had other plans at 9, or if I was going to meet somebody else at 9, I'll be able to let them know, so like, I'm going to be a little bit late. Because if I don't do that, and because you're not communicating, now I'm going to seem like I'm the one who's just being rude by not communicating to the other person, because I also didn't know, because you're deliberately not communicating. You see how that is? So let me know so I know what to do.
But are there stages of communication between a man and woman? Like you brought up the restaurant, right? So that's like a first time meeting, right? So what she said actually makes sense in terms of communication. Or let me, if I'm going,
that's true.
Yeah, if he's running late, she'll let you know. But let's say if you go deep into a relationship, I feel like telling your woman your problems, like explaining to her how things are working.
Thank you, Lars.
So the deeper you get into a relationship, you explain less.
Let me explain the logic behind
Explain the logic, because I'm.
let me explain the logic. Sorry to cut you out,
Yeah.
DC here. The thing is this. She said, I had put up to say there are times when a guy is working hard and
Yes.
and then results are just not panning out as fast as they can.
Yeah.
And every day I came to tell you, like, Karen, baby, today at the office, we were trying to work out this plan. It didn't pan out. The investor pulled out. I'm sorry. Otherwise, the money we were expecting is not going to come earlier than I thought. So we're not going to go to Livingston. You're like, oh, I understand.
Yeah.
I would really appreciate
Like,
that.
oh,
Now,
that's okay.
No, there is
let him
more.
continue.
Let me finish. I'm still cooking. Check this. Then next week I come again. Boom. We were working on this plan, and then it didn't work out. So that trip we've been planning, Kaja, I think give me 3 months. Then I'm still grafting. It doesn't pan out. It's been a year. I'm still like, Kaja ka plan, Kaja ketenzo 7 zirapo Paja. Things have been really hard. All the investors, for some reason, we're trying to work with are just not getting in bed with us. So that vacation we were planning, let's just do it next year, October.
Yeah.
Now, at first it was like, okay, he's explaining things are just hard.
Yeah.
Then it comes from, we are communicating. He's trying his best. Then now it becomes, boom, it's excuses. Then now it morphs from he's just getting by to it's now excuses to, this man has got a lot of problems and it seems like he's having difficulties to fix them. And last time we checked, women don't like guys that can fix stuff. So every time we've seen girls say, when I see a guy failing to fix a tire, there's a problem. Or he's struggling to fix a tire. It's like lifting weights, right, Karen? The day you see me lifting weights, you'll be like, oh, he's good. Then the day you'll be like, you see me struggling, like, he's weak. But you don't know that I just did 10 sets before this last set I'm struggling.
Okay.
So with women, the reason we don't share, because we can only tell you so much. 48 laws of power. Do not tell your follower 100% of your plan. Because when you do that, they start to weigh you. They start to see if there is a way they can opt out if this were to fail. You understand? So at the end of the day, that's why men don't say anything. So that communication, it comes to bite us back. Because this is share.
And this is why
that's why we don't share.
This is why I always, or men should always know that you only solve 95% of your problems rather than complaining to your woman 95% of the time.
Okay.
That's the word I was looking for, because they start to think you're now complaining.
Exactly.
Every time you're telling like, babe, it's not working.
Exactly.
I'm going to complain.
Would rather keep quiet.
Exactly.
So now let me take you back
This is
again.
interesting.
Earlier in my explanations, I think I talked about how you should not compare everybody or put everybody all in one box simply because you had one experience from somebody. So I would give an example maybe of the movie Acrimony. I believe we've all seen it.
Yes.
I've
very
never
much.
seen that movie.
I think I have, but I forgot.
But you've heard about the story.
Yes.
How long did it actually take that guy's battery to work?
Over 10 years.
And the entire time, wasn't the woman with that guy?
Yes.
What messed it up was because her family was coming, in between the relationship,
Yes.
and we're talking her out of it. And maybe in the end, she also got tired.
Yeah.
Why? Not because maybe she wanted to draw out of it, but because so many people were in her ears. And then at some point, when you get too much advice, from people, or maybe different people are coming to you with the same thing, you'd be like, okay, you know what? Maybe I'm just the problem. Maybe they are right. Maybe
that's
let
true.
me try this. Not knowing to say like what you were thinking or your way, how you were going about it was actually right. And maybe you should have just been a bit more patient, And that's what ruined everything in the process. Had she just been a little more patient, should have been with that guy in the end.
And this is why they say if a woman is married, never hang around single women.
I was going to say that.
Because the moment that happens, a single woman is going to convince a married woman to step out of that relationship, or because the husband is not doing certain things that her sugar daddies are doing.
Oh my God. Is it the same thing as dating though?
Yeah, but
Yes,
but
it is. It
look,
is.
Like if you're dating, you should be with friends that are dating?
Dating is marriage light. Okay, here's what
Yeah,
I'm telling you.
yeah,
Here's the
that's
thing.
true.
Let's look at it this way. Okay,
Yeah.
like you said, when she's got family and all these people she's listening to whispering in her ears,
Yeah.
it goes back to what Yuma said here. Yuma said girls are groupies. In the sense that
They are
women,
a bit.
women, I'm sorry, majority of the times you have a tendency of listening to other people. This is why they say she listens to her boss, but she doesn't listen to her husband. You've seen that.
The group chat.
Exactly. Exactly. You've seen issues.
Yeah.
The man saying like, look, baby, me, I don't like you coming ubwera kunchito 21 hours. I don't like that. You should be coming. But the boss tells her, yesterday you came 9 hours instead of 8 hours. Ukazifika pano 8 hours. Guess what? Tomorrow she comes 8 hours. She listens. Here is the thing. There comes a time where the man, even if we say we want to be in a masculine frame here, as a guy, there are things that you are working on. You cannot always trying to make sure your woman is around you. There are times you're trying to make it out there. Things are really hard. But just because your lady, she's got family and friends, and then you have issues of her friends. One friend got a Porsche, the other friend of yours, her boyfriend took her to Dubai. Then you were boyangana. You okachiri mu story. You start weighing your options. Then you remember like, oh wait, there was Laz who was texting me 2 years ago. He was interested. Let me just say, hey. And Laz responds, hey baby. And then like, oh, is that trip to Dubai still on? Oh, any time for you. Him, Laz, is already sorted out. He's got that fixed. Let's face it. Ladies, you always have more options than a guy does.
You're born with value.
You're born with value. In as much as we say, do not generalize, let's face it. You walk out the streets here. There's a lot of guys who are looking. Heck, there could be guys here hitting on you right now. Okay? As girls, you have, you know, I'm sorry to say this, but girls are spoiled. You know that thing where you have lots of options and you just get to close your eyes and pick whatever option.
I feel like that changes. The tables turn at a certain point. I don't know if you've heard that saying where it says a woman can choose who to date, but a man can choose who to marry. So it gets to a certain level where we don't have options, and then you guys are now the ones with a variety to pick from. Like, who do I want to marry? Then we're desperate now. So that's not long lasting. It's true though, but it's not long lasting.
Yeah, but here's the thing: a guy's building stage. Can you? Let's face it. Well, when you put it on the scale, a guy's building stage is 20 to 30, maybe 20 to 35. Building stage. Majority of the guys in their 20s are broke. I remember when 25. I was in my 20s, I had nothing, absolutely nothing.
He only had himself.
No girl would even look in my direction. You understand? No girl would look. You guys, you were in your prime. You understand? There are all these 35-year-old ballers popping up in a Benz. I had to ask the conductor, Nina 5 kwacha. How am I going to keep you, Karen, huh?
Listen, I think I was actually earlier going to also respond to some points that you had actually, you know, raised to say maybe you have some business going on, or maybe something you had planned and it just didn't happen, maybe because at the last minute the investor pulled out. So you're also going to have to disappoint me, which you didn't want to do, but you have to because you don't have a choice. Also, it really matters who you date or who you decide to marry or who you decide to be with in general matters. You need to have somebody who also meets you somewhere in your thinking. You know, somebody who can reason, somebody who's able to understand, like, okay, when this happens, there's nothing we can do about it. It's happened. Let's find other ways we can make it work.
Yeah, you know, that's a very good romantic movie right there you've described.
It's not a movie. What I don't want to say is that maybe that's what I do. I don't want to talk about myself here, but that's what I'm saying. You know, who you are with also matters.
It also matters, yeah.
Who we are with definitely matters.
If you've got a lot of things going on, you know, with you are in your building stage, like you've said, you have to meet, or you have to try to be with somebody who is able to understand. To say like, okay, I can't expect so much from him, or I can't, in as much as I might want that kind of life, or I see my friend who's married, or maybe she's dating as well, and her man does that for her, but then mine is in this kind of stage. He's not there yet, so I have to understand, like, in as much as I want to ask, maybe I'm asking for money. My friend gets maybe like, you know, 20,000, 30, 50,000 just for her hair, but I know like, okay, my man is working, you know, he doesn't have his own business, he's employed, and this is how much he gets. So in as much as I'm asking, I have to know like, okay, maybe I can ask for so much. Why? Because at the end of the day, he's got himself to build. He's got his life to build. He's got his family. Maybe he's also looking after. You know, it's not just about me or just about us. You know, so but how many people would be able to reason in that kind of sense? Yeah. So it really depends with who you're with at that point.
What you say?
I'll wait before you go. I would love to hear Yuma's. Yuma's you know, answers. You know, she's been quiet for some time.
Have I?
Yeah.
What would you like to know?
I would like to know, like the contribution on what these guys are saying? Like,
I feel
what
like
are your
now,
thoughts?
in the beginning, I felt I was like with Karen a lot, but now I'm swaying more towards you guys. So I'm quiet because I'm agreeing with a lot of points, especially that you're saying as well. Like, I get what Karen is saying. Like, as a woman, it's very possible. I feel like I'm that kind of woman, to be honest, to understand. And like, I think the people I've dated in the past can attest. I feel like I'm a very understanding person, exactly the way she came out. But I think it still goes back to who you're with, because I feel like there's a very few percentage of women that can be
Like, how
that
far are you willing to
patient.
understand? Yeah.
Yeah, and I feel like women don't really get things the way we get them. Yeah, we're probably like thinking on a different kind of level, and not everybody's there. There are women that are there, but not all of them.
Right.
So it's very hard for a man to open up. I feel like I'm getting where you guys are coming from.
Yeah.
I'm not saying it's the right thing to do. I'm not saying it's correct, but I get where you're coming from. Yeah, like I feel like if you were telling me things like that constantly for like a year or 2 years, then I'd kind of be like, okay, but this guy, like I know it's hard, but like there should be like something else that he can do. Do you know what I mean?
So basically, what you're saying is don't open up to what you're saying.
That's not what I'm saying. That's not what I'm saying.
Or maybe you're
That's
saying
not what I'm
open
saying.
up, but to some extent.
No, I'm saying, yeah, maybe open up, but to some extent. But that's also a bad thing, because then you're
because
limiting
now
yourself
the
as a
other
man.
extent he's living out, you're going to be wondering, okay, maybe what's going on? Why is
So
he
let's go
communicating?
back to Karen's point. The person that you're with, I think, really has a lot to do with what type of man you be as well. I can be the type of woman that makes you want to open up, Laz. And when you open up to me, I have to make you feel comfortable. I have to make you feel safe and secure, right?
Laz, open up, man. Open up.
Yeah, at the same time, you can also be with a girl or a woman that you open up to and they don't give you that security. So automatically as a man, like you're going to close up and be like, I'll just talk to DC. Like when we go to granddaddy's, you know what I mean? Like he'll get it.
If we can even afford granddaddy's.
So yeah, I think it goes back to what Karen said. The person that you're with like really has a certain hold on what kind of man you can be.
Because look, the moment a man starts to always say what's bothering him in life is the moment he invests more in the woman emotionally, because men love a woman unconditionally.
For
right?
real.
Yeah.
We love for real.
If the relationship prolongs, let's
I'm
say
going to
for
counter
5
that later.
If the relationship prolongs for like 5 years and he keeps on giving excuses, and then he's confident, like, okay, next year I'm going to get this deal. I just hope this woman stays with me for at least maybe 1 or 2 years.
Yeah.
And then all of a sudden she just gets tired. You know what happens? The man will get his revenge. And I'm not saying he's going to directly say, I'll get revenge on this woman. No, he's going to build himself financially. He's going to be a high value man. And that's going to change his perspective.
He turns
on
into
love,
a monster.
You know, so he's going to keep on sleeping with all these women, all because you, Yuma, broke my heart.
Yeah.
Look,
Okay.
players are built by women.
Okay, so in as much as maybe let me try to explain a bit more about effective communication. So I'm not saying you should come and tell me literally what your whole blueprint is all about. I'm not saying come and tell me everything that you're planning. Like, okay, now tomorrow when I leave home, I'm going to do this. I'll talk to that guy. From there, I'll go to that point. Then I'll come back at this time and do exactly that. No, I'm saying trying to give me sort of like highlights. Like, this is what I plan on doing. So it's not everything, maybe like, your method of doing that, but you're telling me what your plans are, not exactly how you're going to roll them out. That's all up to you. And if you want to tell me, yeah, it's still fine. You can still go on ahead and tell me. But I'm not saying come and tell me literally everything. If you are comfortable, then do that. If you are not, tell me what you can and what you can't. You can still play that out. And I feel because that's on everybody, because in as much as I might be very open, I'm not all out open. It's not everything I'm going to tell you. In as much as, let's say maybe there's an event happening tomorrow and I want to tell you about it. I might give you some details that I feel you should know. I'm not going to tell you everything that is going to be happening that side. And this is how life is. So don't tell me everything. If you feel, you can't, that's still fine. But let me know at least to a certain extent, so I'm able to understand exactly what everything is all about. And also the issue of reasons and excuses. These are two different things. An excuse is one thing. A reason is a different thing. So like, maybe in life, and still back to the situation of things not exactly working out. So let's say, for example, maybe there's a contract, you're working on. You have this contractor maybe who wants to invest into something you are doing, right? Which is going to give you maybe, lots and lots of returns, good returns, good money. But then at the very last minute, maybe that contractor gets a better deal or a better person to work with, and then decide to pull out with you, to be like, okay, you know what, we're not going to continue doing this. And then so with you, it doesn't work out, meaning it's going to sort of like ruin a lot of things you had planned, right? Including maybe on how it was going to improve your relationship with the woman, or things you were going to do, things maybe you're planning on doing for her or with her. It's all going to die because, you know, that money is gone. It's not coming anymore. So you coming to tell me, so like, okay, this is what has happened. And so this, what we had planned is not going to happen anymore because of this. That is a reason, right? But then if, let's say, the money has come, and then you decide to say, maybe I want to invest it in something different. But then at the same time, be like, I promised her this. So if I don't go on ahead with that, what then am I going to do? What then is she going to think? So you are going to come and tell me something that you think I will understand, you know, something that I should understand over what had happened, over why you are not going ahead with our plans. Now that is an excuse, right?
Yeah.
So a reason is something that has actually happened. It's the way it is. There's nothing you can do about it. You can't change it. So with an excuse, that's just something you look for in order to make me understand as to why you're not going to go ahead doing something that you were supposed to have done.
You know, the thing is that us men are very calculative. You
That's the
know,
thing.
we
We're
sit down
calculated.
and we budget. We do not just spend anyhow.
Yeah.
We like to see which one is important. Is me taking her out to Dubai more important than me investing in a business that I know is going to blow up in the next couple of months?
Yeah.
And I need that same budget in order for me to actually blow up. So what is it? What am I going to do? So I would rather keep quiet and just give her an excuse, because the moment I tell her, look, babe, in the next couple of months, you know, I'm not going to be able to take you out, but there's a business that I want to do, which is going to blow up. You in your head, you're going to think, this nigga.
He's just talking story.
He's just talking
He's
story.
just talking
How
story.
does he know that this business is going to blow up? Because
Yeah.
he's been making so many excuses.
Yeah, because
Back-
women and men
back-
think differently. They're not the same.
because
Back to the person
That's
you are with
true.
and how they reason, how they
you know,
understand.
the person you're with does matter.
It does.
Let me just go back to that a little bit, okay? The person you're with does matter.
It does.
But at the end of the day, let's face it, a woman's stress, a woman's tolerance to stress and a man's tolerance to stress are different wavelengths, okay? Women, you've got your own ways to deal with stress, okay? But a man, I can endure suffering far much longer than a woman would. You understand? Women can endure pain, but not for too long.
Yeah.
Okay. In as much as you say the person you're with, there comes a time. We are not saying about, look, I for one, I'm not talking about excuses on why I didn't take her out. There are times, what I'm saying is this. There are times you tell her, baby, this didn't work out, so we cannot do this. So I have decided we do this instead. I've given a reason. But there'll come a time reasons start turning into complaints.
Yeah.
And complaints reasons turn into excuses. From excuses, they evolve to complaints. From there, she says, this man doesn't have anything to do. He can't get his shit together. He can't fix anything. He's not a Bob the Builder. He can't build a house.
Yeah.
We've seen this. Like, look, in as much we say the type of woman you're with, women have just shown that, look, I, for one, I can cry for only 2 years. Because let's say this, in the work index, in the USA, there was a study that was done, work index. It's been said women will prefer to only work in their lifetime, to prefer only to work for like 8 to 10 years. From there, they're like, oh, okay, I think
I'm done.
I'm done. It doesn't matter how passionate they are about their topic. If she's comfortable, or if the man she's married to is capable of giving her what she needs, 8 years is like, okay, I think it's time I retire and go back to, I just want to sit or start a business that I can control, but I won't be too much on it all the time.
Yeah.
But a man, men work till we die.
Yeah,
If there was no
99.
retirement, men could continue working. We would be dying on our desks just right there. You have the cardiac arrest. Because men are ants like that. And men can endure for a long time. But women can't. Women can't endure for a long time.
But that's not a bad thing. Men,
No, it's not.
like-
We're not saying it's a bad thing. But what we're saying, what I'm saying here, it's not a bad thing. What I'm saying is this. Sometimes women can be too impatient. And 5 years, like I told you, you and me are dating.
Yeah.
I'm trying my best. It's been 5 years. Things are just not panning out. I've tried multiple businesses. I've tried multiple things. But for some reason, maybe I just have the worst luck out there.
Yeah.
You will start to think I'm incompetent. The fact
I will.
Exactly. Do you see that?
5 years is a long time.
It
you
is
guys.
a long time.
Like
No
5
one's
years is
saying-
a long to not have anything done.
No,
Maybe a year can pass, you do like something. 6 months passes, something goes through. 8 months, something goes through. But 5 years, nothing is going on.
Yeah, but here's the
Did I
thing.
finish?
Yeah,
That's a long time.
that's a long time. But here's the thing. When I'm in my 20s, let's go back to the time, a building era for a man, eh? Because usually a man starts building 20 to 30 to 35.
Okay.
35 upwards is when we start to enjoy what we've been building.
Exactly.
Okay. Now, like you've said, 5 years is a long time.
For me.
Yes, you
Personally,
and me,
for me.
Yes, you and me, Yuma, have started dating. We started dating when we were 19.
Okay.
Okay, we just got out fresh out of high school. I don't know how the world works. I'm still gullible and naive. Okay, we are now 25. Not so much has panned out, and everybody knows not so many 25-year-olds are doing great out there.
That's true.
They are suffering. But you're 25. Then you heard Karen. Chicago's Milo. I can't afford to take you to Chi-Town. You understand? In as much as you say, 5 years is a long time, I'm 25. If you ask men who are older in their 40s, 50s, tell them, when they ask you, you're 25, he's still young. You can't even score a contract when you're 25 or anything. They'll just, you're 25. As a man, you as a lady, when you're 25, you're seen to be a bakulu. You understand? A 25-year-old woman is old. But a boy, when you're a guy, 25, you're seen as a child. No one respects you. No one trusts you to get anything right. They just think, he's gullible, he's energetic, he's spoiled, he's not disciplined. He can't do anything right. But Yuma, you and me have been dating. 5 years. We're both 25. And people still think I'm a child. People are still waiting for me to hit 35. That's when they will start to respect me.
Yeah.
And then you, but Nale, ma, you don't understand that men and women are different.
Look.
We are measured differently.
No, that's how I was saying, like, a long period of time is not really a bad thing if there's indicators of like success. But 5 years without indicators, that's a pressure.
Yeah.
I can't be with
Yeah,
you for
that's
5 years and I'm not seeing like little signs or little achievements. You know what I mean? So if it was 10 years with indicators, then that's fine with me. At least I also have hope like, maybe this thing will work out. But without indicators, then of course I'm out. Like, what am I doing here then? I would
Sometimes
want to be
indicators
patient, but women are also like visual people. I'm not seeing it. So if I'm not seeing it, then what exactly
are
are we
the money
doing?
flowing?
Yeah, but you,
the thing is that one thing is that I cannot blame women fully on their thought line.
No, me
because
neither.
look, women are definitely designed to want more. You know, so as a man, you need to work towards that goal in order to actually get that woman that you want. So you cannot sit there for 5 years and do nothing. If she ends it, you need to understand, say, okay, this is the motivation that I need to have in order to get that woman, because if I continue staying in this position, I will keep on getting dumped, I'll keep on getting left by women. So you need to build yourself.
Yeah,
you
but
need to have value.
No one is talking about that guy here. Nobody is talking about the guy who's doing nothing. You understand? We're talking about the guy who's trying his level best. Okay, let's put this into
We've got
perspective.
2 minutes left.
Yeah, okay, let's put this. Do you remember when we were 25 trying our level best to do
I
something?
don't remember that, bro.
Okay, all right, okay. Play that game. When we were 25,
Yeah.
we didn't just sit around. Remember how we struggled?
Yeah.
There was a time, 1 week, we survived on plain tea without sugar.
I don't
Now
remember that
bread,
struggle. I don't remember that struggle, man.
Okay.
No, you guys are tough.
But here, keep
Yeah.
embarrassing me here. But here's what I'm going to say. There was a time,
Yeah.
since you was okay, I'll leave this to myself.
Yeah.
You were not part of the struggle because you were born privileged. Okay, so let's look at this. There was a time
Yeah.
we would sleep per capita. Not because we couldn't go back home, we could, but the projects we were working on couldn't allow us to go back home. There's a gonna per capita. We would ask 10 kwacha transport to go back home. Okay. There was a time you couldn't even afford a bottle of perfume because you thought nikagula kunchito ni za gandola. You understand? Where you work, you're not getting paid, but you're just getting experience.
Yeah.
That's the toughest time ever. But guess what? We had a dream. All right. But things were not panning out as quick as we are.
Yeah.
So when she says no, there are indicators. There are indicators. But some indicators are too small. They're too minuscule to actually see. The indicator is good. Look, I have more knowledge than I did last year. That's an indicator.
That's
but
true.
a girl will be like, knowledge. Is that your knowledge? Am I going to eat what you learned? I won't eat. My friends went to Oktoberfest. Knowledge
Then you're with a girl, not a woman.
Yeah,
yes,
you're the wrong girl.
listen. At the end of the day, I'm not saying she'll be that out saying, but here's the thing. Just because, look, there's some girls out there that have got the courage just to say what they think.
Just wrap it up quick.
Yeah, and then there are others, those that just hold on to it and then, be afraid when a woman is not talking anymore. She's calculating here. It's like a terrorist. They just sit and observe and waiting to boom, blow you up. When they stop talking, that's the time you should pay attention, folks. That means they're calculating their head.
That's true.
I
agree.
True. I know for sure. Okay? So some of you may say, when she says that, then you're with the wrong woman. No. Look, there are lots of girls who could be thinking it just because they didn't say it. But they were thinking it. That's where I'll end it. At the end of the day, men and women are not the same. And the way we are measured in terms of success, sometimes we should understand at the age group that the man is at and what you're expecting of him. Because you expect a man to have a 25-year-old guy to have accomplishments of a 50-year-old man.
Yeah.
Which is not possible majority of the time. That's all I'm going to say.
So we're about to end the show. I definitely want to hear some last words from everyone. So we'll start from Yuma.
We're starting from Laz.
Been too quiet.
Laz has been very quiet.
Too cool, man. You've been too cool.
Any
Seriously.
last words?
He's too cool
Last
for us.
words.
Yeah.
The usual, don't be a simp. Make sure you work on yourself. Be ambitious. Be respectful, not rude. When I mean being an alpha, that's all I have to say.
You're too cool, man. Too cool. You only say like 3 sentences.
Yeah.
I'm sorry.
I'm the
We were
point.
just too talkative. That's true. That's true. The last thing I'll say is, thou shalt not simp as it is a sin in the eyes of the men's conference. Thou shalt understand that
guys.
building yourself is the only way you shall win these women. Because if we were broke and stupid and had nothing to do with our lives, they wouldn't be here doing this show with us. At the end of the day, that's the best I can say. Karen, to you.
Okay, the only thing I can say is that your mental and emotional well-being does matter and a lot. So always feel free to be expressive, express yourself, and also learn to ask for help when you need it. It's very, very important. That's all I can say.
All I'll say, very simple things. Life is short. Just be yourself. Just enjoy the time that you have on earth. And really important that you should just be yourself, because there's literally only one you and one Laz and one Yuma as well. So I feel like it's just important to stay true to yourself and like just do your thing in your own element.
Okay.
Yeah.
One thing I can say is that do not give up. Do not stop. Always keep that momentum going. I know life is hard. Life is tough, but always keep that momentum going. Just know you're the only person that can succeed and you're the only person that can fuck this up. So as a man, keep on going no matter how tough life is. It's been great. It's been fun. It's been awesome. This is the Men's Conference podcast. This episode was actually brought to you by Bongobongo. Make sure to subscribe to our YouTube channel, like our page on Facebook, and follow us on TikTok. It's been fun. It's been amazing. I'm your host, DC, the legend of awesomeness right here. Deuces.